That's what liberty is about. We're supposed to be able to disagree and still get along and work towards a solution to whatever our
Yes.
issues. And sadly, America has been so caught up in this duopoly, and
We have to pick a side now.
Yep.
I go out there and cover shit all the time, like little protests and stuff like that here in Arkansas. We don't have giant riots. The George Floyd, like the first night, they lit a cop car on fire and burned a financial building a little bit, but that was like as crazy as it got, really.
And that's another thing about these protests is I'm all for protesting, and if you have an issue with government, go deal with government. I think stuff should be a lot more targeted than what it has been if it comes to having an issue with government. And I'm trying to be clear about that, but some people have misread me. I'm not for, I'm not going to go to your business and destroy your business because I have an issue with government. I'm going to go to government and I'm going to have an issue with them. I'm going to have an issue with a federal courthouse. I'm going to have an issue with a federal building. I'm going to have an issue with a state building. Whoever has caused this issue, that's where my issue is going to lie. If the police department has caused the issue, if I go to Montgomery County PD in Maryland over Duncan Limp, my issue is going to be right there at that police department, and we're going to throw hands if I'm able, because that's where my issue lies. And sadly, I think a lot of these, I wish these protesters realized that they would channel the energy towards the right individuals, they would see a little more success and a little more respect as well.
Yeah. It seems like everywhere I go out there, everybody's always asking, what side are you on? And I'm just like, no, dude, I'm just here to cover this because our media keeps showing up and like twisting it around on every side. They do it to all of you, and they're all like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I start telling them about all this shit, and they forget about that stuff. But like, there have been some really tense moments because like, I won't even pick, like, I don't need to pick a side. Everybody has this idea that there's a side out there, and it's ridiculous. It's part of what they're doing to try and divide us. Like
yep. Well, that's the media's job is to divide because it creates more of a story for them to cover, which keeps them in business.
Yeah, they got two sides out there facing off with each other with guns, and they pushed like the local media and different groups pushed dissenting ideas. So like one side thought the other side was there to tear down a statue and they were just there to protest it, and the other side thought that they were there to fight them and that there was like white supremacists with them, so they were all like ready to defend themselves and stuff like that. And that could have gone off like a powder keg, but like,
put your fucking mug down or drink.
And they loved it. Like, the media loved that. They don't come out to see the ones that matter. They don't come out to see the ones where people are protesting and trying to push for like worse sentences for pedophiles and crap. They come out to the thing that they created so that they can get the clicks.
Well, even recently, USA Today, they released an article, an opinion that they featured about gun ownership and open carry and how it's tied in with white supremacy. And the very photo they used right below the description of the 2017 Unite the Right rally is a picture of me and a guy I call Pops, who is a black gun owner, holding hands, and they lightened the photo to where Pops looks white, right in the middle of the description about white supremacy and gun ownership.
They like to put really spooky, scary music behind you.
Scary music.
Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm watching a crime fiction or something.
It's like that Law and Order theme you hear at the every beginning of the episode. Dun dun or whatever. I can't remember.
Tension, like it makes people like tense and uncertain or something like that. It's on purpose though. We had a couple of questions over on the side here where people were asking things. Ligmo here asked, what is it with what's up with the BLM thing, Mike? Like a lot of people, I've noticed, you mentioned that like you've had some pushback from libertarians. I've noticed a lot of them are terrified of anything even remotely tied to BLM, whether it's the movement or the organization, because Marxist-free.
Well, it's like, and I'll answer them the same way I've answered everybody is, y'all know what Steve Carrillo did to the security guards, Air Force Staff Sergeant Steve Carrillo, in the name of the boo, gunned down 2 guards. And it's something the movement had to step back and say. A lot of people say, hey, I'm not associated with that. Some people did say they were associated with it and so on. You're going to have people who are different in every movement. The thing with BLM is, Black people believe in that phrase so much, the fact that Black Lives Matter, and in turn, we all should. Right now it's not a matter of white lives matter or all lives matter or that type of stuff. We all should believe in the fact that Black Lives Matter. I believe in the fact if I can find a local group to stand with and support the right to peacefully protest or to, to stand there and not be harassed by cops, then I'm going to do that. And something I found with 757, they've been disavowed by the national organization anyways. They're not Marxists. They refuse Marxism. They're more libertarian-minded individuals. They're actually, I'm pretty sure they're on board with Joe Jorgensen. But a lot of people don't care to differentiate between your local self and your national organization. And then at the same time, they don't care to realize that everything I've done is for a purpose. I don't just go throwing myself out there to look like a fool and do something stupid. So the group I've intertwined myself with is for a reason. And a lot of people need to realize that. The fact that we were able to show unity and make mainstream media go, hold up. I mean, Fox showed up at our rally and left within like 5 minutes. They didn't know how to spin it. There was a liberal media that showed up and left because they didn't know how to spin it. To sit there and show solidarity and unity with a group that are not Marxist, they're not communist or whatever, that are people's scare phrases. It was my chance to do that, and my chance to also say, you know what, I support you, brother, and I'll stand with you. If someone has a problem with that, then they don't understand what liberty is really about.
Yeah.
Whether we politically, and I'll finish here, I'll finish on this question, but whether we politically agree or disagree, and it's the same thing I told somebody else who had an issue. At the end of the day, I'll stand for your freedom to have the opinion and belief that you have and the protest in the manner that you do. Now, when all that's said and done, if you try to put me in chains, whether it be political chain, just the idea, then I'm going to eat you just as easy. But the fact remains that I'll still stand for your right to have the viewpoints that you have.
Well, that, and you can stand for someone's right to say things and protest and things like that without helping them along their cause, too. Like, like I've gone to observe things that I don't support just because I'm like, well, our community deserves better than what the media is doing to it. They may have to deal with me flashing bootlicker alerts and stuff along the bottom of the screen every once in a while or something, but they don't really seem to mind at all. So, I mean, I haven't had anybody get mad at me yet. So most of the time people are just happy that somebody's like trying to help get the story out and stuff like that, because it's pretty bad out there with the media.
And I think another thing that is important that people have failed to come to grips with is dialogue. We fail to have that in this country. You've got the right, they listen to their news, and you've got the left, and they listen to their news, and they refuse to talk to each other, and it's ridiculous. And
if they all would watch each other's news with their own, it would be hilarious to see their reaction.
And just to see the differences, man. And that's something the leader from 757 has said, was we put that news behind us, and we came and we talked one-on-one, man-to-man, and we realized what each other stood for, and we realized we could find common ground and support each other. And regardless of whether we have some political differences or not, there's a whole lot more unity if people would quit feeding into mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, like and subscribe on our Facebook and Twitter. If you like what we have to say, go ahead and click on our CoinTree link, and you can find all of our various medias where you can help us buy a wood chipper. I think they cost about $2,000 to $3,000, and we're quite a far way away. If you really like us, what you can do is go to our subscribe star. I believe it is
all the lights on and shit like that.
We would appreciate if you go to our subscribe star and subscribe, because if you do that, especially in, I think it's the middle range, you can actually get my erotica, where I talk very dirtily to you about Ron Paul and Ayn Rand, for example. And if more of you subscribe to that, I'll actually produce more content where you can really start jerking your meat to the idea of dead pedophiles and, most likely more Ron Paul things, maybe even the Boog moment. Maybe we'll get fucking Mike Dunn in there. What's he gonna do? Sue me? Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe our content. Follow us on Twitter. We have all of our tags below. Really, honestly, like if you can donate $1 to us, it really goes far. Mike and I are taking all of the stuff and throwing it directly out of our pockets. We need money. It's straight up. Like we're capitalists. This is the free market. If you like our shit, spare $5. Buy me a coffee. That's where all the money is going to, is my coffee addiction. and wood chippers. Coffee and wood chippers. That's where the money is going. Please like and subscribe.
And lubricant.
And Mike lights up another blunt. Okay, thank you guys very much. We'll talk to you guys next Monday. We should have more videos out pretty soon. Please buy a wood chipper. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. I still beat it off to that.